Hi guys, and welcome to All About the Philippines. Now today I'm going to be talking about my worst experience in the Philippines. Now for you guys that have been watching my channel for the last year and a half or longer, you might be thinking I was going to be talking about being robbed in the Philippines. So the time when we were at the Sea of Dreams resort, when somebody broke into our resort room and stole money, jewellery and my wife's mobile phone. Now that was certainly a bit of a scary time there, but because we weren't in the room when that happened, it wasn't like there was threats of physical violence towards us or anything like that. So we just left that resort and went to somewhere else where the rooms were a little bit more secure. So what I'm going to tell you today about the worst experience I've had in the Philippines. I hope for especially new people going to the Philippines, this will be of good insight and you'll be able to protect yourself so this doesn't happen to you, because it's quite an unpleasant experience. So if you want to find out what it is, stay tuned. So back in June 2013, I went to the Philippines to meet my wife, who at the time obviously was my girlfriend. This was the first trip I'd made to meet her, and it was only an 8-day trip because of work commitments, and I really just wanted to go over there to see if I got on well with her, face to face. It's one thing talking to someone on a computer, but you've really got to go and meet them to see if you get some sort of idea of a connection at all. So we were having a great old time over there, and I was meeting all her co-workers and friends and family, getting to know them a little bit, and that was a really nice experience for sure. But the thing that happened that wasn't such a good experience in the Philippines, and I put it down as my worst experience in the Philippines, happened about 2 days before I left to come back to Australia. Now, my wife wanted me to meet her uncle. So we set up a lunch at the Euratel Hotel where we were staying in Makati. And we're having a good old time there, eating a nice lunch and getting to know each other. And everything was going along quite well. And then I've just about finished my Coke Zero that I'd ordered from the Euratel Hotel. And I'd realised something that I never really intended to do. And that was, I realised at that point I was munching on or crunching on the last pieces of ice that were in that Coke Zero. Now, every time I would buy a Coke Zero in the Philippines, I'd always ask no ice. And on this occasion, because we were probably busy chit-chatting and getting to know each other, it slipped my mind, and before I knew it, I'm there finishing the drink with the ice in it. And I thought to myself, oh, I hope everything goes all right from here. Now, let me say to all the newbies to the Philippines, when you go there, you should only have bottled water and always ask for your drinks with no ice in it, because you can get very sick from, I suppose it's the bacteria that can get into their water system that we're not used to. And really, you don't want to risk it. I know I've heard some people will say, oh yeah, I brush my teeth with the water there and I even have the ice there. And I don't know if it's got something to do with different people's body makeups or what it is, but I know on this occasion it didn't work out so good for me. So after that we finished our lunch, and that evening I started to feel quite sick in the stomach, and I really had a lot of problems there. I don't want to get too graphic in all this, but you can imagine what happens when you get a really bad stomach, and it was so uncomfortable, and I couldn't really leave the hotel room, to be honest. I needed to be near that toilet at all times. So this went on for the last 2 days or day and a half of my Philippines trip there. And then the worst part of it was having to get on the aeroplane to go home. I had to get back to work here in Australia, so I couldn't delay the flight. and in delaying that particular flight it would have cost me several $100s to do so. So I wanted to get back to Australia, and that trip on the plane home would have been the worst time of my life. You can imagine sitting on a plane for 8 hours and needing to go to the toilet quite constantly and not sure if you're going to make it in time and all this sort of stuff. It was an absolute terrible experience, and it was quite painful, the cramps I was getting in the stomach as well. So it wasn't good. And even when I got home, eventually home, and I was very relieved I finally made it home okay, I still had that for about 2 days after I got home before it went away. Now, what you can do, I've found out, is you can go to a GP before you go to the Philippines, and you can get some sort of medication that will help with this sort of things. Now, I don't remember what the medication's actually called, but I do know that on our last trip to the Philippines, we did get that for our daughter Nicole, and it was just like a drink. You put it in water and you mix it around and it dissolves in there, and it would protect her for the time she's in the Philippines. So it's not a long protection, but it certainly did protect her, and she never got sick over there, although we did also make sure that we were just drinking bottled water the whole time we were there. And we made a point of just using bottled water to brush our teeth and rinse our mouth, all that sort of thing. As some people say, well, what happens when you hop in the shower? But all you do is you just get your mouth closed and you don't take any of that water in, and it's fine. So if you want to get that extra protection before you go to the Philippines, I suggest a month or so before, go along to your GP, tell him that you want to protect yourself against stomach issues when in the Philippines, and I'm sure they'll hook you up with the right medication for that. And I certainly learnt from that experience, because I've never done it since. I've always been very, very particular about, brushing my teeth with bottled water and drinking bottled water only, and ensuring that I'm not getting any drinks with ice in them at all. So I hope you've learned something from this, and I hope this helps you when you're in the Philippines, that you're more aware of what you're drinking and not drinking around the water in the Philippines, because it can really spoil your time there, and it can, if you're like me and you've got to get a plane back home and you're feeling like this, it can be a terrible, terrible experience. So hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Hope it's given you something to think about. Feel free to leave your comments below if you've had any similar experiences, or if you're drinking the water over there or the ice and you've never had a problem, let me know that as well. And of course, don't forget to share that video around with anyone who might be going to the Philippines and all your social networks. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell to get more videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care, and bye for now.